Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
It may be only a gain of 3 yards, but that back, he deserves a lot more credit on the play. That could have easily been stopped at the line, but his vision and his determination found some space to turn it into that modest gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. He's at the 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Cowboys. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Kenny Nwagu now out of his end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
First down 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start on the ground with Madison. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 3rd down, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A 1st down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. The Vikings sit 2-7 now in the year. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave it with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Going to run with Madison again. And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense The next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
A first down throw for Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll go Madison up the middle. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
It's 2nd and inches at the Cowboys' 12-yard line.
Now a give to Madison. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Got an open man finding Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to match the opening drive touchdown against him with one of their own. Joseph connects on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent offer a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not
there he goes, left side. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Cowboys.
Touchdown, Dallas.
Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Nuwanger now from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 16-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
That is caught by Thielen. He's got room at the 30. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one good for 37 yards.
He's been a one-man dynamo on this drive so far, and you know the other receivers would love to get involved. But right now, his skill and his play has his team in a great position to put 6 points on the board.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's Madison getting it again on second. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Cousins. Over the middle, complete. It's Osborne. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Through one corner, 14-7 our score. Play action now. Cousins. They'll roll him out right. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Touchdown! C.J. Ham. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Joseph connects on the extra point. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Throwing, Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to hold that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Prescott now. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 89 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Prescott. And this one is incomplete. CeeDee Lamb is intended target, and it's 3rd and short. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Prescott. That is caught by Cohen. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. That he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a 1st down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Pollard going to try the right side. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Prescott. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Pollard. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the 1st half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. 3rd and goal now, mere inches from Pater. Pollard again. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Tony Pollard. His 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have broken the tie. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14.
21, Vikings 14.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Luongo now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there? I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Cousins now. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing it back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Prescott from the gun. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I like what they tried to do there, tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a 1st down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge, because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
On 2nd down, Cousins again. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
From the 24, Prescott. Throw left side complete. That's Washington. And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. First and 10.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
At the 4-yard line.
Second down, ball on the 3. First down marker at the 1-yard line. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cowboys will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final play of the half, Cousins. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game, and to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime,
They're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Osa Odighizuwa with the effort there to earn the sack. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it breaks up 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Fielded at the 43. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Now a give here to Pollard. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott flushed out right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Open man Lamb. It's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb, 43 yards. And the Cowboys take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns in 21. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Vikings. Alexander Madison, 72 yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead will be cut down to 14. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Fielded right around the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Their lead down from 21 to 14, but still sitting in a great spot. Up 2 scores here in the third quarter. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Yeah, no question. He got to the QB late, CD, and that's going to get a flag every time.
Every single time. Because let's face it, the league is always going to have an emphasis on these calls. They want to take care of these quarterbacks who are in vulnerable positions when they're passing the football.
On the handoff, it's Madison. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing, Cousins.
And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson.
A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year.
And the Vikings take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find the hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, Kai just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Run of the jet sweep as Prescott bats it forward. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott, 54 yards. And the Cowboys have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, plays like that make the O coordinator look like a genius, but I don't think he saw that play going that well.
No, I don't think so either, but boy, it all worked out perfectly. They caught them in the right defense, guys dropping off into coverage, their eyes averted somewhere else, and guess what? He filled the void with his legs.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, playing the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
128 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Another carry now for Madison. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop it behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Cousins. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for Minnesota. This is taken at the 18.
A good head down running on the return gets about 15 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been excellent. 6 for 7. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Sam Williams bringing him down that time.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it.
He tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along. If you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard, 38 yards. And the Cowboys look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
The kick is good.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give them 19. And those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Play fake, Cousins. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Airing it out deep for Smith. And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. Picked up by Marquise Bell. And the Cowboys will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. When you think about it, though, that interception, great for his stats, but bad for field position. It was 4th down.
Yeah, terrific observation. If there is going to be a silver lining, and this is what he'll plead when it comes time to watch it again, hey, it was just like a punt, right? And so we end up taking possession of the ball. But you're exactly right about it. Should have slapped it down. Field position would be better for his offense. But how many times do you get a chance to make an interception that you turn it down? That's when your instinct kicks in and you take the football. In this case, a better decision would have been to knock the ball down.
6 yards left on second down. They'll run up the middle with Cohen. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, breaking it in the football,
can't get away, and he's taken down. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Cousins on 3rd and 2. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. To the air again, it's Cousins. And he will go down, a Cowboy sack. Osa Odighizuwa able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And that one almost intercepted. Boy, he's got 2 already, nearly a third, but not to be, and it's 4th down. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one will end.